So now this webinar, I'm actually talking about something technically outside of our product. I'm talking about Google My Business. And the reason I'm bringing this up is it does tie into your website, in many ways it does. But essentially, I find Google My Business to be an extremely important way to generate leads, to increase your exposure. It's pretty much essential for any service provider or business out there. Not having a Google My Business page, in my mind, is the same as not having a business card or not having a website. So that's how important I find Google My Business. So I'm excited to go over it. Let's talk about Google My Business for real estate agents. So let's begin. So the first question should be, what is a GMP profile? GMP is short for Google My Business Profile, okay? So Google My Business is a free and easy to use tool for businesses. Essentially, it is to manage their online presence across Google, including Google Search, as well as Google Maps. It can help customers find you and also tell them a story of your business. So this is the official description or definition of what a Google My Business page is. I'm going to show you what it looks like, not in words, but physically. So if I go here on Google and if you see my screen, you'll see I searched for the TAM team. So the TAM team, they are a real estate team. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, look at all of this beautiful exposure in real estate they have here just for their business. This is what a Google My Business page is that you type in, the certain terms such as TAM team or whatever the name of your business is, which is generally your name. And then what happens is a profile appears right on Google where they can find your office address, your phone number. They have an option here to go to your website, get directions to the office, and of course, look at all of your reviews. There's also a questions and answers area where people can ask you questions. And the system's pretty smart. It will actually pull automatically your social media profiles and things like that. So this is basically your listing, kind of like the listing that you get in the yellow pages, back in the day. This is Google's version of the yellow pages, right? So you create a My Business profile, and this is the benefit that you get. When somebody searches your business name, which again is your name, you will have all of this real estate right on the front page there, where people can learn about your business in right away. Here's another example. So in this example, it was a team name. Here I use just the first name, last name of an agent. And again, as you could see, you have the reviews, you have the address, access to the website, a place to book appointments, so on and so forth. So it is just from the real estate that you're getting, the exposure you're getting on the first page when somebody types in your name, this is extremely valuable as a real estate agent. If you didn't have this sort of exposure, yes, of course, you may show up on the top result, but you're missing that option to have photos, to have reviews right away, to have a quick button to call somebody. And I'm going to show you some of the statistics, but basically, Google My Business is really great for not only exposure, but also converting that exposure into leads. So let's continue with the presentation here. So your Google listing gives you increased exposure from Google, as I mentioned. And when it's done well, it can be a great source of leads through many features that I've shown you, such as the quick click to call, people being able to read your reviews, which is increasing more and more in the industry. And one of the very cool features is Google Ads connectivity. So I'm going to bring this up later on. I'll show you an example. But your Google business page can also be used to do paid advertising. And pretty much what you can advertise is like your reviews and things like that, which have a huge impact on converting that potential lead into an actual lead. So those who optimize their Google listings are essentially performing what is known as local SEO, local search engine optimization. So let me show you what that looks like in real life. What is local SEO? So for example, if I go on Google and I type in real estate agents near me, right? So I didn't type the name of any business. I really did a general search based on geography, so local. What happens is those who have really optimized Google business pages, they will show up. So I typed real estate agent near me, And the top result is an individual agent, right? Another individual agent. Yes, you're going to get sometimes brokerages, but again, brokerages are not necessarily concerned so much with this sort of thing the way that an individual agent would be. And that's why you'll notice there's a lot of results here that are individual agents. And again, this is really not leveraged as much as it should be. So this is a great opportunity. If you're an agent, especially if you're in an office that maybe doesn't have that many agents, you're likely in an amazing position to have a great ranking for things like this local SEO. And I'm going to get into it. And Google has released some amazing features. I think they're really trying to put more emphasis on this. If you recall, Google used to have something called Google Plus. Google Plus was supposed to compete with the LinkedIns and the Facebooks of the world. It ultimately flopped. And a lot of their emphasis went into Google My Business. And I'm going to actually go through Web4Realty's Google My Business page to show you all the functions and features. So we'll get into that. But when I'm talking about local SEO, what I'm referring to is when people do a search outside of your name and they still find you. This is a great opportunity. So another example is if I type right here, you could say I wrote the best realtors in Barrie, right? Barrie is a city in Ontario. So as you scroll down, you'll see again, you have the Ferris team, the Peggy Hill team. So these are Google business pages that you're seeing. And they're a lot more effective than these results because they come with more information. They come with phone numbers, they come with addresses, and of course, they come with reviews. I'm sure all of you, before you go to get a bite to eat, you probably look at the reviews of the restaurant online, right? So if I'm going to sell or buy, one of the most important investments in my life, would I not do the same sort of due diligence, at least doing a quick Google search and looking online and seeing the reviews? And the research shows, yes, people are doing that. So having a Google business page, not only good, like I said, for the general exposure like this, when somebody types in the name of your business, but as you use your Google business page more and more, you can start showing up for local results. You're basically optimizing for local searches, such as real estate agents near me, who's the best agent, in the city of Barrie, whatever the case may be, and you can show up. And I mentioned earlier that you can connect Google Business with Google Ads, meaning you can basically do a paid advertisement of your Google Business page. And you could see that right here on my screen. You could see Red Real Estate. So I'm assuming this is a brokerage agency or like a brokerage. And you could see the word ad here. So I typed best realtors in Barrie. They said, I want to show up when somebody types that. And again, this is a very effective form of an ad. Let's compare. So I wrote best realtors in Barrie, right? You have 3 ads here. So these are known as Google AdWords ads. And these ads, they're great. They have, they have phone numbers, they have links. But one of the differences is when you look at the advertisement that's based on Google Business, it comes with reviews. And like I said, reviews have a huge impact. It's when somebody sees that there are a lot of reviews, you're pretty much improving your presence, right? You're improving the way that people perceive you, which is, again, going to do a lot better. You're going to have a lot better rates of clicks and calls compared to a general Google ad, which doesn't have that information, which generally just goes to your website. So let's continue here. So one cool thing about Google My Business is, again, it's very analytical. They provide you reports. So you can actually gain insights within the admin panel, which I will show you. But they also give you emails every single week or every single month on telling you how people are finding you online. And this is a great way for you to find out what sort of people are looking for you. And then you can model your marketing based on that data, right? You want to make data-driven decisions, and this is just another way to do so. And there's a little screenshot here from a business. So it tells you how many people asked for directions to meet you, how many visited your website from the Google My Business page, how many used the phone number to call you, right? So these are great stats. And if you think these stats are good, let me talk to you about let the numbers talk, right? Let's talk about Google My Business statistics. So the figures that I'm going to show you below, it's really 4 main figures. This actually came from a study that studied 45,000 Google business pages across 36 industries, including real estate. And I really want you to look at these metrics as a way to really inspire you guys to get involved. Because I know that when you hear about a new feature or a new tool that somebody's recommending, you're just probably, as a real estate agent, you're an entrepreneur and you're wearing many hats. And now I'm asking you to wear another hat, and you already have 30 hats on, right? You have the accountant hat. You have the Facebook hat, you have the Instagram hat, you have the open house hat. So now I'm asking you to add a Google My Business page hat. But I really recommend this sometimes more than I recommend somebody focusing on social media, especially stuff like Twitter, where real estate agents have it, but they're not really using it. It's just occupying space for no reason. I find that Google My Business for real estate is very important. I would actually put it above social media presence because it's a lot easier to do, number one. And number two, the return on investment can be a lot higher. So let's start. 49% of Google My Business pages earn at least 1,000 views every single month. Now, again, this is based on averages, but again, half of the people who have a Google My Business page get eyes on them, at least 1,000 eyes on them every single month. And maybe it begins as a low number when you're just ranking for your name, right? But again, as you use your My Business page more and more, you will begin appearing for local searches. And that's probably how you're getting, more of these views, right? The second stat here, the average conversion rate on a Google My Business page is about 5%. So you might think that number is low, but that's actually quite a high number for a conversion rate of something that costed you no money. So just by having a Google My Business page and by somebody seeing it, there's a 5% chance that that person's going to go to your website from there, or call you from there, or get directions from there, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a great conversion rate instead of not having it at all. And in fact, most, for example, retargeting campaigns, the conversion rate on those are a fraction of a percent. So we're talking about 5% here. So this is a great opportunity for you guys. Another stat here that I really want to bring up to date is 84% of Google business pages were found through discovery searches. So what is a discovery search? A discovery search is exactly what I was showing you earlier. It's these people are not typing the name of your business, right? They're doing a search to discover a business. They're trying to find a business. They don't know the name of this business yet. They're trying to find it. So they're searching, they're doing a broad search. And that's 84% of Google My Business pages are found that way. Which is amazing. That means people can find you who essentially did not know you exist in the first place, right? This is actually a great one. Website clicks from Google My Business pages. So people who see your page, just like you could see here, and they click on that website button, the number of people that do that has increased 29% from 2017 to 2018. And of course, the trend is increasing as Google's putting a lot more emphasis on Google My Business and Google My Business results. So this is just going to become more and more important for the real estate business and businesses in general. And I'm really hoping that after this webinar, if you don't already have a Google My Business page, you create one. And if you do have it, you start making it part of your routine. So the first thing that I want to go through now after I've shown you these stats is showing you how to create a Google My Business page. So it's actually quite simple. And basically you can get started. And when you get started, it will ask you to type your business name. So from there, you just type in your name. And of course, you can add a keyword like real estate. Once you click on that, you just press next. The important thing here is when it asks you for a location, make sure you say yes, okay? And here is where you put your office address or the brokerage that you work for. And when you do this, what's very, very important is that Google is going to send you mail, right? So just make sure that you let your broker of record know, or whoever handles the mail know that, hey, mail is going to come from Google. It's going to have my name on it. Just make sure you give it to me. And the reason is that is how you get verified by Google My Business. That allows you to take advantage of most of the functions and features that they have. I actually have a step-by-step tutorial on how to create a Google My Business page. If you go to our help desk, which is support.web4realty.com, I'm just going to paste the link in the chat for you guys to see. And if you actually type in here, you could just type in Google Business in the search bar. And I believe there's a tutorial here, how do I set up a Google Business page? And I actually go step by step on how to do it, right? And kind of giving you guys some advice on how to set it up. But they will mail you a code, and that code will allow you to verify the business, right? Once you're verified, then you have a Google My Business page. So let me show you what the inside of a Google My Business page looks like. So this is insider information, guys. You guys are seeing the inside of Web4Realty's official My Business page. So when you make a profile or a business page, it's going to look like this. This is how it looks like for you as the owner, okay? You have the name. So this will be the name that you put, such as your first name and your last name. You're able to set your categories. So in the beginning, it'll probably be one category. But if you press that pencil button, it will allow you to add additional categories, right? So look for categories related to real estate, and that will help you. Then you'll have your address. Again, that'll be your brokerage address. You can have your service area. So if you're, like I said, if you're an agent that has a very specific niche area that you guys service, you could add that information in there. You can have your hours of operation. I'm sure you could say 24/7. But again, in our case, we have very designated hours. The phone number, this one's very important. So again, this phone number is going to allow people to click a button to call you. So when they see your profile, if they're on their phones, they click it and it will actually dial your number. Very effective. Of course, your website. This is extremely important. I can't recommend this enough because Google will actually basically improve your ranking by connecting your website with your Google My Business page. So if you have a verified business with Google My Business and you have your website here, it's just an added way to get that SEO. You can highlight your services, of course, have a description of your business, when you started working, etc. So basically, this is the basic info of your business. And you'll see here the tab on the left is called info, right? So this is just the basics. Every business, anytime you make a Google My Business page, just make sure that you optimize this, that you put all of your information in here. But let's go further. One of the most important parts of a Google My Business page is getting reviews, right? So if you click on the reviews area here, you will see that this is where all of your reviews will appear. And this is where you're able to reply to all the reviews. And Google loves to see that people have replied. So I have a lot of homework to do. I got to reply to all of these. And it's very important that you do. Again, reviews is just a great way to give your business that authenticity, to show that you're an industry leader. I'm sure all of you guys can agree. If you did not see 206 5-star reviews here, I mean, maybe it wouldn't affect you, but surely seeing it has an effect on people. And I'm sure all of you guys go to eat at restaurants, and I'm sure you guys have a way of discovering, which restaurant should I spend my money on, and reviews is one of the ways that you do so. And that's the same for real estate. People are going to look at these reviews. So anyone who creates a Google My Business page, the moment that you guys create one, get your friends, family, past clients to leave a review. And it's very easy. All they do is they Google the name of you or your business, and they can go directly, click right here, and they can write a review. So if they click write a review up here, they're able to write a review for you. And again, this is very important in order to, again, increase the ranking of your Google business page and helping you start getting that local search engine optimization. So that when somebody types in, real estate agent near me or real estate agent in the city that you work in, you will start showing up. It's just an awesome feature to have to really get those reviews in there. So don't just get reviews on your website, get reviews on your Google My Business page. And let me save you a step, okay? Get people to first leave a review here. If they leave a review on your Google My Business page, you can go ahead and copy paste this into the website, right? So you don't have to tell them to do the work twice. Tell them to do it once, and you can handle putting it on the website. All right, let's continue in here. So this is the reviews portion. And the reason I'm stressing this is there's just so many benefits to reviews. There's so much research on how reviews affect purchase decisions. And I understand that you guys are not like a regular brick and mortar business or a restaurant, but the psychology is the same. If someone's going to work with an agent or decide to call an agent, somebody referred you, the first thing that they're going to do is Google you. And once they Google you, these reviews are going to be an awesome way to help them feel confident about their decision. One cool feature that they've added is messaging. So we're not necessarily leveraging this, but I definitely recommend real estate agents leverage this by turning it on. This is a new feature that they offer. By turning this on, people can actually communicate with you directly from your Google My Business page, similar to like a live chat mechanism. And again, it's very effective. One of the ways that you can do this is by downloading the Google My Business app on your phone. So if you're an Android user, just on the Google Play, type Google My Business. Again, if you're an Apple user and you have an iPhone, just go to the App Store, type Google My Business, and they have an app. And with that app, you're able to not only manage your page, but handle this messaging that I'm telling you guys about. Very cool feature. Photos. So I was actually just doing some research before I created this webinar, and photos actually have a huge impact on decision making. I was not able to find stats relevant specifically to real estate, but again, I'm assuming that if it makes an impact on most businesses, or most industries, real estate's not going to be far behind that. So making sure that you have photos of your logo, of course, a cover photo could be your photo, like your actual personal photo, but they also allow you to add videos. They also allow customers to import photos. So you can have a customer who left a review, they can import a photo of maybe a home staging that you've done, right? You can have photos of your office. So they allow all of these options here for photos, and these do have an impact on how people view your business. So be sure to leverage it. You know, if it's here, make sure that you leverage it. Photos, again, I don't have the exact stats for real estate, but what I can tell you is it was a significant increase in calls, specifically phone calls, to businesses that had more photos. So yeah, take advantage of that. So one big feature that Google My Business opened is the posts feature. So you'll see here where it says posts. When you click on it, just the same way that you post on social media like Facebook or Instagram, Google My Business offers a post feature, and more they're really pushing this. So Google really wants My Business to be successful, and they are putting so much improvements to this feature, and people who leverage this feature will get a huge ranking to their local ranking, right? So it works the same way that you would imagine any post. You can add an update, an event, an offer, right? So it's the same as you would imagine. If you add an update, it'll ask you, what's new. You can add a photo. Of course, I recommend it. Write what your post is. And here's one of the beautiful things. You're able to add a call to action to your post, like learn more, call now, etc. So these posts can be very effective. Just to give you an example, I got the permission from another business who actually uses our platform. Their Google business page, if we look at their posts, you could see just how effective that these can be. So you'll notice here, this post, so this is a local, automotive business, but their post got 492 views and 6 clicks, right? So you can have a post, maybe you're having you're doing, an open house for a specific listing, right? This is a great way to get eyes on that property, right? If you're doing a specific promotion, if you're having a contest, if you just want to advertise a specific aspect of your business, such as downsizing or whatever it may be, this is a great way to do it. And yeah, so I definitely recommend you use the post feature. And when you use the post feature, right now, the way that the algorithm works is they bump your ranking. So if you're competing with 7 agents from your office, okay, which will be the case at some point, but if you're the one that's using the post function, you're going to rank above them when somebody does a search. So definitely take advantage of the post feature. The posts will disappear after a certain time, so it's good to continue to post often, and just make it part of your schedule. So whenever you're at home and you're planning to post on Facebook and Instagram, just add Google My Business to that roster of responsibilities that you have. Won't take you that much time, and the ROI can be immense. Okay. So one last thing I want to show you within the Google My Business from the back end is the insights that they provide you. So when you click on insights, it's pretty cool. So of course you could toggle by time, but so what you can see here is how did people find you, right? So you'll notice a big chunk of us were direct, people who were Googling specifically, our business or our brand, like Web4Realty. But this nice chunk here, over a third, are coming from discovery, and this is what I want you guys to leverage. So these are people finding you by doing a broad search of your category, product, or service. And again, if you look at the stats, this is how a lot of people are finding businesses, and it's going to be no different for you. As long as you're really taking advantage of your My Business page and optimizing it, like I was telling you, making sure that all the info's there, that you have enough photos, you have enough reviews. Reviews is huge, and of course, posting often. So that discovery search is how people can find you. So these are some pretty cool stats. It'll also tell you what people typed in Google to find you. So that's pretty cool. So you'll get some information about the certain queries that people were running. And this gives us information on how we can improve our website or improve our marketing. So you'll notice real estate website design was the 3rd most popular query that somebody ran to find our website. So if I know this, then I know that maybe I should do some more posts about real estate website design. Maybe I should write a blog about it. Maybe I should improve my page regarding this topic. So I'm making a data-driven decision now, right? Again, it will tell you how many people found you on Google search, versus Google Maps. And Google Maps is increasing, and so a lot of people are using Google Maps the same way they would Google. So consider it a search engine, right? Even for us, who would have thought that 170 people in 1 month, would look for a real estate website designer on a map, right, on Google Maps? But it's happening, and by having Google My Business, we're getting that presence and we're generating those leads. And of course, my favorite is the customer actions. So this is actually telling you the conversions from your Google My Business page. This is how many people went to our website. This is how many people wanted directions to the office. And this is how many people clicked the button to call us. So it's awesome. So these are some awesome insights that you will gain from your Google My Business page. So yeah, this is just basically a breakdown of how Google My Business works. You will get on the homepage, you'll get all the performance stats. You will see businesses, they actually show you your competitors and what they're posting, so you can get some ideas, which is pretty awesome. And they're always adding features. So as long as you're logging in once a week, putting in a post, you will be above the crowd. You will beat the competition. And I want to leave one note with you guys. This is a very under-leveraged aspect of marketing in the real estate industry. Google My Business is often seen as something for brick and mortar businesses, like I showed you, like the automobile industry, like the repair shops, hairdressers, things like that. But in real estate, it's not necessarily leveraged as much. But what I can tell you is this is actually an opportunity. In real estate, especially if you're in the Toronto market or any one of the big markets in Canada or the US, it's saturated, right? And when it's saturated, I'm not just talking about the number of realtors within the business, but most things are saturated. Bus ads are saturated. Facebook is saturated. Instagram is saturated. Google Ads, AdWords is saturated. So to find something that is not being leveraged, such as YouTube right now, YouTube is not leveraged, and Google My Business is not being leveraged, this is an opportunity. This is breaking new ground. And so as an agent such as yourself, you can be one of the first to really take advantage of this and get all the benefit before pretty much the trend catches on and the bubble bursts, right? So definitely, if you don't have a My Business page, make sure you make one today, okay? And when you do, if you do have one, and when you do make one, don't just leave it and never touch it. Post often, get photos, and of course, like the one thing I keep pushing is get reviews. Start off with friends and family, talk to your past clients, but the more reviews you have, the better. And I can tell you this firsthand. It's one of the most common reasons why somebody signs up with Web4Realty. It starts off with those reviews. It's one of the most commonly mentioned things that we hear on the sales side. So definitely make sure that you guys are leveraging Google My Business. This messaging feature is huge, especially in your business where people want to get that information right away. Definitely activate this feature as soon as you're in there. And that is how it will begin. So let me end the webinar here and open it up to questions and answers. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this webinar, and I hope that you learned something about Google My Business, and hopefully I inspired you guys to really get started and leveraging it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, and I'm going to answer some questions now. So one question here from Iftikhar. He says, how do I link it to my Facebook business page? That is a great question, Iftikhar, and this is very, very odd. You cannot, so you're not in your Google My Business page, you do not have the option to add your social media. I don't know why they don't let you do it. But what happens is their algorithm, Google's algorithm, is smart enough to figure out what your Google My Business page or what your social media is. So they will figure it out on their own. So when you go to Web4Realty, you'll notice here that they picked up our Facebook. So it's just something that happens automatically based on their algorithm as they connect with your profiles. This next question here I have, Karen says, are you able to delete reviews? Unfortunately, you cannot delete reviews. If you get a 1-star review, you're kind of stuck with it. The best thing you can do, like I showed you, is to go click on reviews and reply to it. So at least you can give your side of the story and kind of show how you guys deal with the situation. So you cannot delete reviews, but the best thing that you're able to do is reply to them. So Iftikhar, how do you delete a photo from the Google My Business page? Let me show you that. So let's look at here. If you go to photos, so when you log in and you go to photos, if I click on this photo right here, you have the option. Let me just find it. One sec. It should be at the top right. So yeah, right here, you'll see there's a trash can. So if you click on that trash can, it will remove the photo. So that is how you can remove photos. Another thing is you're only able to set one cover photo and one logo. So to edit those, if you want to change those, you just press the pencil icon and it will allow you to change the image. So Irina asked a great question. How can I promote my business page? The first way to promote it, so there's two ways. There's the free way of promoting it, and there is the paid way to promote it. So the free way to promote it is to make sure that you're adding all the information that you can. So making sure that you're going through all these tabs I showed you to add, the address, your hours, the labels, the categories, the description, and posting. So the more posts that you put, the higher your ranking will be. It will basically improve your visibility. And then reviews. The more reviews you get, of course, the better visibility and ranking. So that is the free way to promote. The paid way to promote is through Google Ads. So Google Ads, if you just go to ads.google.com, this is how you can basically do paid advertising with Google. Through Google Ads, you have the option to set a paid campaign where you're specifically promoting your business page. So just like I showed you here. So I typed best realtors in Barrie. So somebody paid money so that when somebody types that, they wanted their business page to appear. So Red Real Estate, which is a brokerage, you could see it says ad here. So they're paying for this result to appear as the first result in this local pack. So this is what you call the results. Any results for business pages, it's called the local pack. So that's how you can do it. Okay, so I see here Matthew's asking, I see the Ferris team has best realtor ranked. Right here. So great question, Matthew. I love this question. I want all of you guys to look at this. This is a great question. Why is Ferris team showing up? Technically, they're actually the number one result. The only reason that Red Real Estate is above them is because they're paying, by the way. So why is Ferris team showing up as number one here? Okay. Of course, there are many ways that you can answer this, but look at one of the first things. Who has the highest rating, first of all, right? It's Ferris team, okay? And number two, forget the highest rating. Who has the most ratings, right? The most number of reviews. It's the Ferris team. They have 503 reviews. The closest one under there have 359, and the one under there has 17. So like I kept stressing getting as many reviews as possible for this reason. Reviews is one of the most potent parts of the algorithm for how you rank in the local pack. So the more reviews you have, the higher you rank. So I hope that answers your question, Matthew. And if you don't have that many reviews, by the way, you could try to make up for it by posting often. So I was telling you posting is very important. So if you don't have that many reviews, but you're posting often, their algorithm might be able to help boost your ranking. But essentially, the reviews is the reason that they're ranking number one. And that's pretty much it for today's webinar. If there's a question I missed, again, Rami at Web4Realty.com. And if you have any suggestions for my next webinar, please feel free to share it. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Have a great weekend as well.